Welcome to our weekly evening meditation. As we've just noticed, we've just passed the equinox. So perhaps one of those turning points of the year, perhaps, and feeling a little chillier, a little bit more autumnal, perhaps. And gonna think of something around our ongoing transformation, our ongoing formation, but about nurturing ourselves. The picture here is near the source of the River Ribble, taken near the Ribble Head Viaduct. You'll see the significance of water later. But going to have a couple of prayers as we go. This opening one from Cole, the late Cole Arthur Riley. God of every beautiful thing, make us people of wonder. Show us how to hold on to nuance and vision when our souls become addicted to pain, to the unlovely. It's so much easier to see the gloom and decay. So often it sings a louder song. So attune our hearts to the good, still stirring in our midst. Not that we would give ourselves to toxic positivity or neglect the pain of the world, but that we would be people capable of existing in the tension. Grant us habits of sacred pause. Let us marvel not just at the grand or majestic, but beauty's name etched into every ordinary moment. Let the mundane swell with a mystery that makes us breathe deeper still. And by this, may we be sustained and kept from despair. So I think that poem prayer repeats the idea of holding tension and holding a way between despair and denial. So let's go through our own practice as part of our habit of sacred pause. Begin this time by adjusting your position, and in doing so, notice your connection with the earth beneath you. Notice how your feet or any other part of your body that's touching the floor is placed. Notice how you are rooted to the earth and how she literally holds you up, supports you unconditionally, effortlessly, compassionately. Let's hold a sacred pause just for a moment to feel and sense and acknowledge that support and that connection. And so after grounding ourselves with the connection to the earth, we turn to our connection to the air, with the joy of our breath. And take our usual 2 deep cleansing breaths as we breathe in through the nose and back out through the mouth. I like to think of almost luxuriating in that unbounded intake of breath, going on much longer than we would normally. Noticing the air entering and filling. And then notice as we exhale, the air leaves the body. And repeats again and again. Hearing the sound that the breath makes, that the breathing makes. Now as we hold for a count of 2 after the in-breath, just notice a slight tension, the muscles involved, perhaps in the belly, just keeping that breath before we let go. You might think of this as we breathe out, we're giving out, and as we breathe in, we're taking in, a cycle of give and take. Participating in an exchange with the elements, with other living beings, with the earth herself. Breathing in the earth's compassion and exhaling, breathing out our gratitude. Maybe even say the words to yourself as you breathe in compassion, and then as we breathe out gratitude. Relaxing and resting and restoring. And as we think again about what it means to be a peaceful presence in the world, conscious that unless we nurture ourselves, unless we nourish kindness and empathy within ourselves, we cannot be that to others. And sometimes poetry is a way of nurturing ourselves, connecting to a deeper level of sensing. Let's share 3 images from different poets. First of all, Malcolm Guite, who recounts, he says, "I was in a cafe in North Carolina one evening when the word murmuration came up. My friend had never heard it, and just as I explained it, by an amazing coincidence, a murmuration of starlings rose from the trees nearby and swirled and made those mysteriously suggestive dark cloud shapes as thousands of birds turned and returned together and settled again in the trees. This time of year particularly, we might see a murmuration of starlings. T.S. Eliot, the poet, reckoned that Tennyson had the finest ear for the music of English and the greatest skill in playing it against the meaning of what he had to say. In this passage from a poem, The Princess, myriads of rivulets hurrying through the lawn, the moan of doves in immemorial elms, and murmuring of innumerable bees. As a beekeeper, I particularly like that murmuring of innumerable bees. And then a more recent poet, Seamus Heaney, and here we come to water, and perhaps appropriate given our recent amount of rain we've had, in this evocation of the sound of a downpour, evoked by upending a rain stick. Upend the rain stick, and what happens next is a music that you never would have known to listen for. In a cactus stalk downpour, sluice rush, spillage and backwash come flowing through. You stand there like a pipe being played by water. You shake it again lightly, and diminuendo runs through all its scales, like a gutter stopping trickling. These lines with a repeated w and sh, the very sound of water sloshing and washing as it runs down and backs up against itself. And then the line that ends, come flowing through, expresses the sudden clearing of a channel or passage that lets the water flow through smoothly and quietly again. And so with some of those images in mind, we connect again with the wider cosmos, bringing our attention back to the breath, conscious of being part of something wider and more infinite. Breathing in for 4, holding for 2, and out for 4. Breathing in calm. Breathing out anything we need to let go of. The very practice of breathing more deeply and more slowly itself brings a degree of calm and being settled. From our first exercise, we might breathe in compassion, breathe out gratitude. Breathe in calm, breathe out anxiety. Our very practice developing in us the ability to be a peaceful presence, helping us to transform our anger, of which we've spoken before. Finding a middle ground between denial and despair, between retreating into our own shell and feeling guilty for not doing more. And another prayer to take us to our silence. Prayer of blessing from Brian McLaren. May you be blessed to see in any anger not just a danger, but an opportunity. May you be blessed to see in your anger a window into what you love. May you come to see indifference, complacency, and self-centeredness within you as signs, not of your lack of anger, but more a lack of love. May you welcome anger as a source of information about what you love, about what needs protection and repair, and about the courage and strength needed to make this world a more peaceful place. May you be angry about what deserves anger, and may you experience such a transformation of your own anger that you become an agent of loving transformation in our world. And so we'll go to our longer silence, carrying that idea of transforming our anger that we have touched on before. Or using the breathing exercise, or just focusing on some of those images from different poets. There's a new track from Salt of the Sound, Lead Me Through. Breathe in compassion, breathe out gratitude. Use this sacred pause. Rest in it and use it for your own practice. So allowing the music to gently draw us out of silence, out from our sacred pause. And some closing words. May you carry peace within you, even when the world feels restless. May your words soften anger, your presence ease division, and your hands sow kindness where there is hurt. Go gently, knowing that even the smallest act of peace can ripple wider than you can imagine. And may you be blessed, not because the work is easy, but because it is holy. Amen.